Okay folks, this will be a challenging one. Let's see how we go with this. It's a nice bright sunny day today. They say it was going to get cold today, but it wasn't that cold when I was out. Let's see how we go with this. This will be a real difficult one. I don't know how this one's going to work. It's got potential, as it often does. I don't know what I'm going to do with it to make it look into something nice, but that's the challenge of my demos. Okay, let's see what we have. We have here a sequined pullover, a sequined children's, I think it's a children's one, it's a children's size pullover. So we've got these lovely sparkly sequins to deal with. So we're going to take a section, and I don't know if we're going to keep it a still piece or a movement piece, or maybe a scrunch piece. We're going to scrunch it to make it more interesting. So I'm just going to scrunch it up. Otherwise, if you leave it flat, the sequins look shit. They don't look like anything interesting. They look a bit flat and they don't sparkle. Yeah, that looks interesting. I don't know if I like it, or it's very minimalist, if anything. I do think that looks nice there. I'm going to perhaps scrunch it further, make it more scrunchy, and maybe it still looks a bit like there's not much contrast between the colours. So I'm just going to try that again. Maybe we can go up, make it 260 by I'm going to try that again. Scrunch it right up into the corner. I don't know how that's going to look. Yeah, that looks interesting. I do like that shape generally, but I still don't like the way that white area is too white. It looks like it's got potential, folks. I'm going to try it again. Just try and see where those sequins actually are, pretty much. So I'm just going to try that again, kind of scrunch the shit out of it. I knew this would be a challenging one, but that looks really quite interesting. Not quite what I'm after. I don't like that vertical piece there. I don't know how I'm going to eliminate that, how we're going to make it look any good. So there is a vertical piece. I don't like verticals in mirror images, so I'm just going to twist it a little bit and scrunch it further. Squash it down a bit on the scrunch. Yeah, again, it's not what I'm after. We still have a vertical-ish piece. Wondering what we can do with it. We've got that nice little bit there. Don't want the vertical pieces. If we can make them not so vertical, maybe we can turn it around a bit, make it less on the vertical. Yeah, that looks interesting. It is still a little bit horizontal and vertical. That looks nice, that little sparkly bit there. Maybe we could make it into a movement piece. Maybe we could move it around and see what we get with our pieces. So we're just going to scrunch it up a bit and we're going to move it. Going to move and scrunch. Because sometimes movement is a better thing than still shots. Yeah, that looks interesting. Still looks a bit minimalist. It looks like it could work. We're just going to put that back in position again and we're going to move it. No, that's shit. That looks shit house, folks. I'm actually wondering if maybe this, I don't know, folks. It's difficult, folks, what I'm trying to do here. Whatever, folks, whatever. Whatever it takes. Maybe we could just... No, we don't want 100, we want 200. A smaller enlargement. I think that was a shit one. That was a horizontal movement we just made. So I'm just going to try and put it back in the frame and try to maybe scrunch it up again. Yeah, that looks interesting, but it's not what I want. It looks shithouse. I don't know what to do with it, folks. I knew this was going to be a fucking hard one. A real difficult, too hard basket job that it feels like it is. I really hate it when it gets like that. Where you feel like it's going to be in a too hard basket. But we're not that far into the demo, we're not prolongated yet. Yeah, that looks interesting. Maybe we could use it. I do think we can. We can make it into something. I do like those little bits down there, so maybe horizontally we can drag it out. Okay, so we found something we can actually work with. This is not an easy piece. This piece of sequined garment. Wondering, maybe we can make it into a negative positive. Now we're just going to set up for this. I do wonder if a negative positive would look nicer. So I'm just going to maybe enlarge it from A5 to A5 and yeah, okay. So we're going to make it 141.4 and the vertical will be 104. And maybe we can make this into something a little bit different. We make it into a negative. And we just have to set our controls differently. Okay, folks, we're going to make this into something more interesting. Sorry, I'm pointing the phone down. I shouldn't do that if I can avoid it. Yeah, well, negative image looks shit house, folks. I do admit. It looks nice, cool colours, but they look a bit too cool, too blendy. They blend too much. Maybe I'll have to set some more controls into it. So we didn't use the usual settings that we have for negative positive, such as brightness. And this is the red and the hue. We like to put the hue there. I do think maybe we have to enlarge a bit more horizontally. I don't know how this is going to look as a negative image. 150, I'll make it 150. Yeah, that looks a lot more interesting. It looks a bit too green. I do like the bluey colour better, but it's nice to see that there is contrast of colours instead of just this washout. Maybe we could drop the hue, maybe darken the hue, maybe, don't know, we're going to make it more bluey, even though blue to me is a colour I associate with depression. It's still a beautiful colour nonetheless. However much I place meaning of it on there, however much it has a negative connotation. Like for example, the New South Wales football team for rugby union, I think it is. The Blues, the New South Wales Blues. I hate the way they call it the Blues, because the blues sound like having the blues, the depression that I feel. So I feel depressed, and I hate the way they call it the Blues. I hate it. But I don't like footy anyway, folks. It's just that when I switch on the 6 o'clock news, it's always there. There's always footy. Footy, fucking footy. Footy here, footy there. People just love their footy. And I guess it's something that people can watch on television while they're in lockdown during the pandemic. The coronavirus or COVID-19 or simply COVID, whatever name it goes by. Now that, I don't know what colours I'm affecting here. That looks quite interesting. But I bet you the lockdown is giving people heaps of blues at the moment, not just people who are prone to depression or anxiety, but people who are just your average Joe Blogs or Joanne Blogs. I'm wondering if we're going to keep it on, if we're going to, where are we? This damn user interface. Shit, I hate it. Sometimes I just get into it and I do it fucked. I do think maybe the red has got to go redder. This is going to be another prolongated demo. It's going over 15 minutes as we're counting. That looks interesting. I guess we're going to have some of the greens. Eat your greens, folks. Eat your greens. But basically, yeah, I don't like football, and I hate the way State of Origin calls New South Wales the Blues. Oh, fuck, I hate that phrase, the Blues. I mean, fuck. But, you know, that's what you get. Yeah, they couldn't have an audience for this football match because of COVID, if I'm correct. That must have really depressed a lot of the footy fans, especially New South Wales, which is the Blues. So I don't know how this is going to look. I actually think maybe the positive image would have looked better than the negative image this time. I get the feeling, folks, but I could be wrong. Something different. We like to do something different every now and then to try and make things a little bit more interesting. Now let's see how we go with this. This is probably going to be a little bit on the minimalist side. Anyway, that's come up looking quite interesting. I think now we can call this demo quits.